Okay, there we go. So since this is our first class, I didn't give anybody a ton of time to adjust to it, but it's because as teachers, we're kind of, hey Carly, as teachers, we're kind of in the same boat as you guys, and that's why like everybody's really confused, right? We just learned yesterday kind of what this was going to look like. And so I want to go through a bunch of frequently asked questions for people just in my pre-P classes, but just in my classes in general, and tell you guys how this is going to work. And your classmates can just watch the replay if they weren't able to hop on today. So a little bit about Zoom. So but there's a few kind of class rules for how I want to do Zoom moving forward. So our Zoom chat for our sixth period pre-P class is going to be at 1:30 every Tuesday. And whenever you hop on, make sure that your line is on mute, at least to start. We'll be doing some class discussion and stuff like that. But it just allows me to be able to speak without the background noise that's happening and everybody else is home. If you want to unmute your line, like if I call on you or if I say like, what do you think about that? Then you can hit the space key on your computer and that will unmute you temporarily. So that way you can answer a question. Another thing that I really want you guys to do is, I like the first day I had a few classes earlier today and 10 of their screens just had their name on them or they just had a picture. And I really want to see your faces just because it's really awkward to talk to a bunch of profile pictures. And this is the only time I get to see you guys. And I really, really miss school and I miss you. So make sure that you have your video on. How you can ask questions is the Zoom group chat over there. If I am presenting or if you have a comment, as long as it makes sense with what we're talking about, don't comment like, oh, I see your cat in the background. I mean, do comments and questions throughout while I'm talking because then I can answer them whenever I'm done speaking. And I'm going to have you guys participate in the group chat a little bit too moving forward. So about the former, this is the number one question I keep getting from pre-AP because we were in the middle of our charcoal project and some of you took it home and some of you, they're still at school. And so I am just assuming that if we had finished that later, fantastic. If you want to finish it at home, wonderful. I'm not requiring it be finished at all because it's not really fair that some people didn't have a chance to grab theirs or don't have charcoal at home. But I will say that you guys are pre-P and you are doing absolutely fantastic on them. So I would love for you to be able to finish them, and I would love for you to send me pictures if you do. If not, you're all in 7th and 8th grade pre-P, so we're gonna come back next year. Like I mean, or this year or next year. So if that's the case, you can still finish it then. Okay, so that's not like it's a waste of time. And y'all, we're doing so great on those, which makes me sad. Sketches. If you didn't see the assignment or the announcement in Google Classroom, you no longer have to do sketches. If you already did one, then I can give you bonus points for that, or I can put it in for a Z that you might have in gradebook. But the way that this, like all of your teachers' classes are going to work now, is the school only wants us to do 2 20-minute classes a week. And that are 20 minutes of instruction. So what that means is 20 minutes plus 20 minutes is 40. And so we have 40 minutes in order for me to give you instruction of some sort and for you to do whatever work that you have to do for my class. And so in art, that's really limiting, right? Like 40 minutes a week for me to talk to you and for us to talk, like to communicate and for you to make artwork isn't a ton. And so because of that, I'm shifting from a little bit more of like fine art, really in detail projects to more creative problem solving and more just getting you in the zone of creating. It's not going to be so much like here's how you shape with oil pastel or here's how you do this, because my assumption is that the only thing people have at home is paper and pencil. And if you have more than that, that's fantastic. But that's all you're going to need. And like we're also going to be using things from around your home too. I'm going to try to keep it creative and fun and hands-on. I don't want you to have to do a ton of like writing or art history things because I know you're doing a ton of writing for other classes. So I'm trying to keep it fun and light. The structure of our class is going to be that, again, I'm only doing a live class on Tuesdays. And so what this is going to look like is your AMI work is due this Friday. Okay, so it's due to our Sonia this Friday. I'll talk about that in a second. But what's going to happen next Tuesday is that I'm going to take all of those projects that y'all turn in and I'm going to put them on a slide. In the first 10 minutes of class, we're going to have a discussion where we look at y'all's artwork and where we communicate with each other about like, whose do you like, why do you like it, what did you like about doing this project? one of the things I really love about pre-P and about my art classes is that we get to see what each other creates, and we get to communicate and talk and that kind of thing. And I don't want to talk at you for the next however many weeks this goes on. I want it to still be like communicative and for you to see how other people are responding to the project. So the first 10 minutes of class is going to be a group discussion, and then the next 10 minutes is going to be me talking at you probably about whatever we're going to do next. And then the remainder 20 minutes of the week is going to be independent work from you. And so, for example, you turn your project in on Friday, next Tuesday we talk about it at the beginning of class, then I introduce the next thing to you, and then on Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the rest of the week, you're just working on whatever I've introduced to you. And I'll go over that again. I know this is going to be a ton of information in one like little session, but that's how that's going to work. The last 10 minutes, because this class is going to last from about 1:30 to 1:58, those last 8-ish minutes there aren't required. You don't have to stay. It's if people want to chat with me or ask me questions about their assignments or anything like that. So I'm just going to leave it open. I do have to get off at 2 because I scheduled 8th period classes at 2. So that's going to be the structure of that. How do you turn work in? So since you're pre-AP, we already have this set up, you're going to turn artwork in via Artsonia, okay? It's just because we've already been doing Artsonia. It makes sense to continue doing it. A few things. Number one, you want to make sure that your artwork is well lit. So it's well lit. And it needs to be in Artsonia instead of in my email or in my Remind, because if I have some people uploading in Artsonia and some people uploading Google Classroom and some people uploading, like it's really confusing, right? So let's use Artsonia, and I'm going to share my screen for a minute here. And this is my first day, so bear with me. Also, I'm using my husband's computer, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so with Artsonia, and I emailed all of you guys this for a reason, but you're just going to go to artsonia.com/class, and I'll go Carly's. I removed the qualification that you have to have PIN, like any kind of login. All you need is your classroom code, and you can do this with the app or you can do it with the actual web page. But your artwork's all going to be here. Let me move this for a minute. If you go to add new artwork, you're going to see everything that you haven't uploaded artwork to. And so for this first project, it's going to be called Handscape. You're just going to click it and you're going to upload your art to there. I'm always going to have the instructions so you can read back through them, but this is the same instructions that I put on Google Classroom, okay? When you go to add new artwork, you have to select the image or video. Yeah, you just select it from your phone or from your computer. Real quick, I want to share some stuff about Google Classroom. So in Google Classroom up here, I'm realizing that not a lot of people have used it before. I definitely haven't used it in my classes a ton before. So be mindful that the stream is on top. And the stream is just like your social media stream. It's like your social media feed. I'm guessing that's Caitlin. It's like your social media feed. And so if you, I want to make sure that you're continuing to like check up on that. So if I do a presentation in class, it's going to go on the feed. If I have something that I want to show you guys, like a famous artist or an announcement or anything, it's going to go on this feed. Classwork. I am going to post your classwork onto here because I want you to have a place to reference it, but we're not going to turn in things on here really with the exception of an AMI progress picture this week that I've asked you to post. So I joined my own Google Classroom. I joined my 9th grade Google Classroom just to be able to see what it looks like from y'all's perspective. And whenever you are going to go, like to upload a picture, I would recommend if you are using primarily a smartphone to take pictures that you download Google Photos onto your phone. That way you can upload a photo to your phone and then access it from your Chromebook or your computer super easily. Then you can just click it out of your Google Drive. If you want to email it to yourself, you can also do that and you upload it with a file. But that's how you upload work that is an image, okay? So you shouldn't have to upload a link. It should be either Google Drive or file. And that's going to be how you would upload if you needed to upload anything on Google Classroom. But the majority of your uploads are going to be on Artsonia, okay? So I'm going to stop sharing. Who is iPhone? Comment in the chat if you're iPhone. Y'all are mysterious. Okay. How can you communicate with me? So I want us to all keep in touch, but I also wanted to talk about boundaries, and that I get a lot of emails from people, and then they're like, you didn't email me back, and it's been like 2 hours, and it's like 10 p.m. at night. And so realizing that my office hours are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., that is when I will be answering emails, when I'll be contacting you back for sure. If I see an email from you at 10 o'clock and I feel so inclined to answer it, then I will, but don't expect that immediately. You're welcome to contact me like later. It doesn't have to be within those hours, but I might not get back to you, okay? Because I have 3 pets and a husband and like all kinds of things happening. So the ways to contact me are Remind 101. If you aren't in my classroom Remind, then you can go to the Google Classroom stream, and the link is on there. You can contact me via email. And I'm also going to set up a Flipgrid. And what that is, it's a way to share like video progress stuff. I'm going to talk about that next week. And you can email me. So those are a bunch of different ways to keep in contact. I want you guys to keep in contact because I miss you. And it doesn't have to be about class stuff. You can contact me about anything else as well. But just to kind of put that out there, that's how you can contact me. I think that's most of it. So what your assignment is for the rest of the week is just to finish that hand surrealism assignment, which is to incorporate, like draw your hand for observation, shade it, and incorporate it into an environment of some sort. Okay. So I want you to do your best on that. Obviously, I'm not there to physically help you. My level of grading is probably going to change a little bit, but you're pre-AP, so you know to do your best. And I do want to still see that from you. And I want you to be creating probably outside of what we're doing in class and what I'm requiring from you, because I want you to keep your skill level up, and I want you to use this as a time in which you can practice skills, and a time in which you can use art, hopefully to cope and to like kind of help with the boredom if you're stuck at home a lot. Because I'm in Conway, pretty much everything is shut down here because we're so close to Little Rock. So I've been using the time to be creative and using the time to do things that I haven't had time for like recently. And so that's been really good for me. And I hope that you can have the mindset that this can be a time in which you can kind of dive into hobbies as well. A little bit about just like Zoom, and like this is going to be messy for a lot of your classes probably. I saw this meme where it was like, oh yeah, my teacher that doesn't know how to use the projector is now going to teach me digitally. Like, I get it, it's weird, and it's going to be like kind of awkward at first, but I think that if we can just decide to take imperfect, messy action on it, and like just kind of like art, just figure it out as we go, it's going to be okay. And even though digital teaching, like I also saw this meme and it's like from Friends, and it's like, we were on a break when your school figures out digital teaching, because you're like, ugh. But I think that it can be a really positive space in which we can see each other every week, and that can be fun if we have a good attitude about it. So if you came in later, if you didn't get to do this, I want you to answer. I got to share my screen again. Okay, so answer, we're going to practice using the chat real quick. So answer the following in the little chat box. So what's your name? That, because some people have their name on their Zoom and some people don't, like, guess who, Bernie Sanders over there. So I need to know who you are. How are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being going crazy, like I can't stay in my house any longer, and 10, I am amazing and I was born for this. And then what song instantly puts you in a great mood? So for like, because I'm making a quarantine jams playlist, obviously. So I think I need to know those things. So I'm going to give y'all a second to do that. Oh my gosh. I just saw Caitlin's message. I'm going to talk while y'all are doing that though. And we're going to do a lot of like photography stuff a little bit too, because that's something that you readily have. And because it was really last minute to get on here today and to make this like a class today, if you have friends in our 6th period class, then try to say like, hey, class next Tuesday, be there, because I do want it to be an interactive thing that we can do every week. And I won't talk at you the whole time. Next time I'll have you guys talk to me back. Who was on the iPhone? Anybody know? Rude. I mean, it is kind of like, I know it's an adjustment, but I just made those pictures bigger, so that's hilarious. Okay. I'm going to take a picture of y'all's answers over here. It's only lame if you have that mindset about it. So Does anybody have any questions before we hop off that I can answer? You can type them in the thing or you can unmute yourself. It's up to you. And Caitlin, you missed this part, but I want to see your face next week. If you want to like print out a picture of Bernie and like put it next to you, then you can. But I need to see your face. They think it's not swag. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to hop off here. It was really good to see you and Bernie, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day.